start streaming and start recording. All right. Oh, I'm pretty sure my moderator already knows, but oh, before I do that, time is 7:55. Day is December 1st. Oh, Decembre the first. Primo. Is that it in Spanish? I'm pretty sure December isn't Spanish for December, but I think primo is like means first or next. Primo, prime, singular, something. I don't know. Never mind. Ah, Melly says, "Ooh, this is a big day. This first beanie stream." Yeah, I'm still wearing my beanie. This is my sleeping beanie. But yeah, it was great. It was better than my old beanie simply because it's like thicker and has more grit. It'll like cling to my head a lot better. So now when I go to bed and then the cat wants to just kind of like snuggle all up around my skull, he's not stepping on my hair, and like the beanie's not slipping off as easy as the other one was. Oh, but yeah. Uh, this morning, I was working on. Well, I was doing my self training on the whole coding and programming. It's going to be a long course and a long time going, but right now I'm learning HTML5, and I'm getting the hang of it. It's um, it's a lot easier than what I was dreading, because like I do have a blog, and then sometimes I have to put it in HTML mode, and I have been able to decipher on my own like how to alter things, such as like mostly I do it to like alter the size of like the frame size of video clips. So I learned intuitively. I was able to learn my way around that. But as for the other like HTML jargon, it was just like freaking over my head. But taking these like free online courses and like learning more in depth about like what a lot of that jargon means, I'm catching on. I'm catching on. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue like training myself like several minutes throughout the day. But also last night, big news. I started writing like my announcement speech for the presidency. It's like my far and out dream to like become president and change all these fucking stupid, crooked, and heinous laws, round up all the corrupt politicians, and just friggin' have them tried and executed for all their egregious crimes and shady dealings with all these corporations, and also give the corporations a proper punishment. And it's looking to be sort of a long, lengthy speech, a little bit. Like it's already verging on 2 pages. Well, no, it's already on 2 pages, and it's verging on a third. So I gotta try to like try to wrap it up and then clean it up a bit and then present the speech. But I want to make it animated because that's what I love to do. And I think having a speech like that in an animated format will like garner like more interest from people and just have it spread like hope against hope. Like I'd like for it to go viral because like my message is just so far out, man. And just like I wanted to present like what I think or how I think to all the populace at large. And I'm sure it's going to shock a lot of people, but for the most part, I just really want to make people just like think and observe why the way things are the way they are now. Just kind of like look at the environment around them and just see why things are such in like dire straits for the most part for a lot of people, and why it's just so easy for other people. And we're like to a point right now in society where there's like only like an elite upper class, and then you go lower, and then you pass the bar from like the middle class is just like shrinking like year by year, and now you got then you got like low income families. Like the middle class is like almost non-existent for the most part. What the middle class is like just now it's not even middle anymore. It's like mid low class, and then you just kind of dip right down into poverty. But yeah, I just want to share that I've been like writing up a storm. Well, 2 pages isn't quite a storm, but just I started like writing late into the night, and just so far it sounds good to my ears, and I'd like to see it get done. Well, anyway, other than that, in other news, the lady I'm working with on this project, who I'm sending updates to, like her and her people are really enjoying what they're seeing so far, and they're really excited to like see more work from me because like again like for the for the past month I've been either sick or just too busy to work on this project. But now that I'm back on it, they're excited to see what I I got going, what I'm slinging their way. Oh, do I have everything running? Yeah, everything's going. Um, Sometime here in a little bit, I gotta go feed the animals. Because right before I started the stream, I got a text from my brother who was like heading out to work, and I guess they were running late, so they didn't have the opportunity or chance to feed the dogs or the horses. So, um, let's say after a couple more panels, I'll go head on out and feed them. I think during my break, I'm gonna start watching. I downloaded like the new season of F is for Family from Bill Bill Burr, one of my favorite comedians. He's like one of my favorites is because like he's just so he's got that just pissed off energy all the time. He's like pissed off about like a lot of things that are just kind of taking place, and like what he says just makes a lot of sense, and it's funny because it's true. And I like his animated series. It's kind of like a throwback to like America in the 70s, I believe it was, and just like this middle class like family life. And it's just fucking it's hilarious. I can't wait to watch it later today. Oh man, I got an itch. Ah, I need a back scratcher. Back scratcher. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's hard to itch or like scratch my back because of the thick sweater, it kind of restricts some of my movement. And even if I can, oh, okay, okay, there we go. Oh, uh, oh, okay. Maybe I should take this off. Oh, there we are. Melly says onwards with the vor. Yes, I didn't think of this as a vor scene until it was pointed out yesterday by a viewer, goes by the name of Iso. Oh, and I was just like, oh no, that is what it is, isn't it? I'm animating vor. But you know what? Yeah, if like people enjoy it, like go ahead and share it around. Maybe then I'll actually start getting some more community funding. From what community? I don't care. Because the current community around me isn't. They don't care enough to like really contribute. But maybe later on down the line, when I actually start animating, I'll see some contributions getting tossed my way. But anyway, what was I saying earlier? Um, F is for Family. I downloaded the new season off of the desktop Netflix app, so I'm looking forward to watching it. Melody says, "Any word on that dude that wanted to help build your new PC?" Oh shoot! I keep forgetting to contact him. I gotta contact him today. Contact him today because I don't think I have anything going on today. My mom doesn't have any appointments that I'm aware of. I forgot to ask her. Um, I don't have any appointments today. So I gotta contact that dude and just ask him when or how he wants to go about this. Because I know he relayed to me that he's trying to get a new job, which is going to be paying him more, which will like make it easier for him to help me out with these computer guts. But currently at his job, like I think he can still help me, but I'm just not sure how soon he's able to do it. So I want to touch base with him and see when he's capable of delivering on that promise. Amadi says, like I said yesterday, do you love how I remind you of everything you forget to do? Yes. Oh, it's like we're already a couple living together. Just you reminding me of all the important things that I forget. I love you, babes. I love you a lot. I don't know if I told you that today. Have I told you I loved you yet today? I don't think I have. So there you go. I love you. My darling sweet honey kitty. Ah, mm, okay. Okay. I hate it when you get like a flurry of itches, and then as you go on, like you'll get like this other itch, like aftershock itches. I don't know. But anyway, like yeah, I've been watching a bit of Netflix here and there, like downloading some shows and movies I haven't gotten a chance to see, and some shows I want to catch up on. I was hoping Walking Dead I would be able to download that because I download these shows and movies at night during my bonus hours through the desktop Netflix app. And I was disappointed to see that The Walking Dead, like the latest season, isn't available for download from the Netflix desktop app. And it's just one of those shows that I guess I'll just have to stay up late to watch or try to watch on a weekend, given that my bandwidth is doesn't have a shit fit. But yeah, I've been wanting to catch up on that. But from some of the buzz I'm hearing, like the latest season isn't all that great. So my enthusiasm for the show is starting to waver, but I'll still check it out to check it out. Oh, another a series I did complete recently was Devilman Crybaby. Oh, the animation is like excellent. I love the animation and the style, but the story, man, like right at the end, good God, like just a lot of build up for just fucking jack shit. I mean, what a disappointment of an ending. I mean, you follow all these characters throughout all these episodes, and then you become like emotionally involved in whatever, and you become like hopeful, and like the main character, like yeah, like as the title says, he's a crybaby because he's very emotional and empathetic, and he's one of those intense empaths that like if he feels someone else is sad, like he feels that emotion, but he can't help but like emote that, and he'll cry for other people, but not for himself. And when he becomes Devilman, he's just like this intense badass. But at the end, it just all fucking falls apart. I mean, like all of his friends die. They're like, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it for everybody. I don't care because like it's really not worth it. I mean, it was just so disappointing, and I was so want it to be good because of the art style and the quality of animation. But yeah, like everyone in the end, they just die, and like the Devilman, his adversary, was his best friend the whole time, and his best friend toward the end of the season of the toward the finale, like leading up to the finale, like in the last remaining episodes, he finds out that he's the devil, like the literal devil, like he's Satan, and like Devilman, like the main character that you're following, is trying to fight for the humans, and he goes out and gathers up all the other Devilmen that are in or throughout society, because sure they might have like they might be part human and part demon, but they still have that human aspect to them. But here comes Satan, just like bringing all his minions to like fight to kill the human race, and in the end, he succeeds. And Melody says, "I've seen it and thought it was total crap." Yes, it's like I really wanted to like it because of like the art style and the animation. It was just like top notch through a lot of it, in my opinion. But the ending was just fucking shit. And you want so hard for the hero to win because he's been through so much, and he's strived to like help his friends throughout like everything. And when it was revealed that he was Devilman, like some of his closest friends were the ones who stuck by him, and then all those friends get wiped out, either through like people acting insane because they want to try to kill all the demons, because it comes to light that demons exist and they could be anybody. So everyone's just killing everyone else. So some of this guy's best friends, they turn on the friend group because they're easily manipulated, and everyone just fucking dies. And then Devilman tries to go out trying to save the human race, but no, everyone's dead, even Devilman. And Satan is just kind of like wallowing in his victory. But then, because he killed his best friend, who was Devilman, oh, he starts to cry because he's all lonely now. And it's just a fucking bullshit ending. Because, like, Satan won, but then in the end, like, he starts to shed tears because now he's lonely. Like, oh no. Like, yeah, everyone might have died and the hero didn't win, but really, if you look at it, the hero did win because he made the devil cry. Oh, boo hoo. the devil won, but in the end he actually lost because he got to feel emotions. It's just like, oh, fuck you, man. I wanted like a whole fucking like badass ending where in the end, like the guy finally won. But little by little, it didn't look like I was gonna get that because in the very last episodes, like you see, like all of humanity is dead. The main character is like just kind of like wandering around in the wastelands, holding his girlfriend's head, his love interest's head, and it's just like all for naught because like in the end, and humanity gets wiped out by the devil, and the devil wins. But then like, oh no, the devil's sad now because he's lonely. Oh, he won, but he realized it wasn't worth it because now he's sad. It's like fucking shit. Fucking bullshit ending, man. Fucking bullshit ending. Melody's saying like, then again, I have been spoiled by the original two OVAs. Amon, the Apocalypse of the Devilman. When I see a Devilman, I expect gratuitous hyperviolence and carnage. Devilman made for yeah, yeah, those were the old ones. But nowadays, this was like Devilman made for millennials because yeah, he cried a lot. He did cry a lot, but then there were instances where he was a badass, but then he was just like, it just wasn't enough to save it. I mean, even toward the end, like when the ruthless mob tore apart his girlfriends, it's like he just ended that ruthless mob in an instant. It's like, what the shit is that? You're like, you're not gonna fucking make them suffer, and I hate it when shows do that. It's like when the bad guys like go about killing innocent people, they make them like they torture them, they make them suffer, and they like kill them very slowly. And it's like, oh man, I can't wait until this bad guy gets it. But then when the hero comes, it's like it's all over too quickly. It's like over in an instant, like just like either a shot to the head or something instantaneous like that. It's like the hero kills off the bad guys just too quickly. It's like, no, you fucking jackass! Why didn't you fucking impart the same suffering he was doing to all these other innocent people back onto him? Like, why didn't you just fucking kill him nice and slow? And it's like for the bad guy, it's like, yeah, he makes all these people suffer, he tortures all these other innocent people, and in the end, like, he gets a quick, painless death. I mean, it's fucking bullshit. I hate it when shows and movies do that. It's like, you're not gonna, like, have the hero just kind of come in, like, on a righteous horse and just, like, lop off a limb or two and make the villain just try to like escape, get away, suffer for a little while, kind of like give the bad guy the sense that he might get away, but then like the hero comes from like from out the shadows. I am vengeance. I am the night, and then just like slowly stick a knife into the friggin' bad guy's gut, and then realize like, oh man, I shouldn't have tortured and killed all those people. I want to live. Why am I such a shithead? And just like, just see them just die slowly. It's like, and the good guy's like, yeah, you deserve this. And then just kind of like, and not even like finish killing him off. Just like slice him up a bit and just let the bad guy bleed out. You know. But no, like I hate it when shows and movies just kill off like bad guys just too quickly. It's not gratifying. And like, yeah, they tried to make Devilman look all badass by like launching this intense, angry inferno. Like, he's raging, raw. But it's like, no, you killed off all those shitheads too quickly. Here they cut up all your friends, like slowly and maliciously. And like your friends were made to suffer this whole time, but yet you just end the bad guys in the most merciful way possible just by like making their death so instantaneous. Like, oh gosh, fuck that show. Yeah, Melody's saying like Devilman for made for millennials, Devil Millennial. Yeah. Melody says, posted Amon Apocalypse of the Devilman on your Discord. Ooh, might have to check that out. I check it out now, but when I upload these production videos to YouTube, I often get copyright strikes. So when I get these copyright notifications, like I'm told, like the people who own the copyrights are gonna run advertisements on those videos. So I guess as long as the videos don't get taken down themselves, I don't really care. But I don't want to deal with that anymore. So I don't want to show or watch much content unless they're stories. From what I've uploaded so far, like the creepy stories that I listen to, aren't getting flagged for copyright. So I'll just continue listening to those. I think my coffee's good enough now. Yes. Mo says, "Be warned, it is disgustingly violent and deliciously macabre." Fucking love it. It's gonna wash that bad aftertaste of Devilman Crybaby out of my out of my brain. What a fucking disappointment shitter of an ending. Mo says it's at the same point with the fall of humanity. So you can make a side by side comparison, and it's only about 45 minutes long. So they cut out a lot of horse shit. Nice. Melody says straight into the blood and guts. So I guess it's time stamped. I'll probably be able to watch it on my hour break. Where's my? There it is. Yeah. It's like I love tragedies as much as the next person, but if you're gonna make the main character that powerful, I mean, fucking give him some balls, man. It was like Devilman Crybaby shouldn't have been as bad as it ended. So let me like reframe that thought. Like I love good, I love a good tragedy as long as it makes sense. You know, it's like when they made a movie version of Shakespeare's Titus. And I was like, fucking, that was epic. Oh man. It's like you have this father whose daughter gets raped and killed, or not like killed, but left for dead. And then he takes out his vengeance on the responsible party. And it's fucked up what happens to his daughter because, like, after she gets raped by these two brutes, like, they cut out her tongue so she can't, like, explain or, like, say who it was that killed her, and they cut off her hands. So, I don't know, maybe just being dicks, or maybe so she can't write down or, like, really communicate all that well who the responsible parties were. And they just kind of like string her up in a swamp and just kind of like leave her to die. But then her father comes along, and it's really devastating for him. But then in some way, she's like able to convey who it was that raped and mutilated her. So he goes about and like plots his revenge. And he does it so well too. And it's like this family. It's like the sons are shitheads, and the mother. It's like she allows her sons to just get away with all their bullshittery because they're like rich and powerful and whatever, but they're just like corrupt to the core. So Titus, what he does is that he invites them over for dinner, and through like a series of events, like he kills the sons and cooks them in a meal, and then he feeds them to the mother, unbeknownst to her. And then this is all made evident to her like much later on, after like he will after he brings out his daughter that lived, and sees that shows the mother that his daughter had been mutilated and all this stuff, and that her sons were responsible, and that she had been fed a meal made of her sons unbeknownst to her. And it's just like a fucking delicious, like, tragic revenge story. That's what it is. Um, Melody says, "Oh, it's good stuff. I have missed this level of hyper violence. I haven't seen gratuitous violence of this caliber since Ninja Resurrection." Nice. Ninja Resurrection's a good one. She also says, no beast so fierce but knows some touch of pity. Oh, no beast so fierce but knows some touch of pity. But I know none, and therefore am no beast. Richard III, William Shakespeare. No beast so fierce but knows some touch of pity. But I know none, and therefore am no beast. Yeah, I gotta check out more Shakespeare. Oh, what am I doing? That's not how I do that. I do it like this. Silly cat's playing at my feet. What are you doing, cat? What are you doing, Fat Jack? Melanie says, modern text, even the fiercest wild animal has some touch of pity. If I know nothing about pity, that must mean I'm not an animal. Yeah. I mean, it's such a blasé way to think about it. I mean, like saying, like, I don't know the play itself, but those words say to me, like humans know pity, and like it's kind of like saying like pity is like a universal thing. Even like fierce beasts know pity. And for someone to just be so pompous and arrogant as to say like, "Oh, well I know no pity, so therefore I am no beast." Well, in saying that, like you're in a sense saying that you're not really human either, because what the words we're getting at is like pity is a universal thing. It's like not only humane, but even beasts know pity. But to admit that you have no pity is just kind of expressing your inhumanity toward everything and everyone. And just admitting that you're all around a shitty person. Richard the Third. Yes. So I do feel pity, therefore I am humane, but I like to save my humanity for the humane. So in that sense, like thinking about all these jackasses and assholes who have put me all through this like this humane all this inhumane shit, like, fuck them. That's why I want to become president, change the laws, round up all these corrupt motherfuckers, have them tried and executed. Because it's got to take a very like a conniving mindset in order to set up a justice system that you claim is humane, simply because like the whole like constitution like providing or promising like or being against like cruel and unusual punishment, but then it's like yeah there's like no torture or like things like displaying people in stockades because it's unusual. Like sure they're not for things like that, but like the punishments they dole out with like these lengthy prison sentences and in the conditions that they put them in itself is pretty inhumane. Like how do you expect people to like live through these extraneous prison terms in these morbid conditions? It's like, sure, some of them are like serial rapists or murderers and just killers of the highest caliber, and like there little to nothing can really be done for some of these people, and maybe they ought to be locked away for an indefinite amount of time. But things such as like petty crimes and like maybe even let's say drug dealing, like if you're caught with like a certain amount of drugs and then you're given like a lengthy prison term that could equate to a life sentence, I mean that's fucking bullshit, man. It's like some of these people are just trying to make a living in the harsh reality and like the way like society is built up, and in some ways like some of these people can only make uh, a livable wage by dealing in drugs and consorting with nefarious individuals, because that's the only life they were able to cut out for themselves. And you put a lot of these people away who do these things out of desperation and just fucking in my mindset like it's pretty inhumane to like give such a lengthy prison sentence for like non-violent drug offenses. So for all those lawmakers who set this thing up to where it's like, oh, it's not cruel and unusual, but the punishment for something that isn't really even a crime is just inhumane in and of itself. Because when you think about it, it's like a lot of these crimes or like a lot of these drug laws were put into place for like racist reasons or elitist reasons, and a combination of the two. Because like the war on drugs started around the Nixon era, and Nixon put it in place because a lot of his critics were either um, uh, ethnicities or um, I'm trying to come up with a technical term for it. Social groups that were against the, I guess, self-imposed American norm. So like, let's just say like his biggest critics were like black people and hippies. And what did those two groups have in common is their recreational drug use. So Nixon employed this whole war on drugs to work against his critics. And it's just been a farce ever since then. But like drug laws have been in place like even way before then. Like they were actually enacted back in slavery times, where cocaine was like more of like a common thing that you could get around the local drugstore or the apothecary apothec I don't know I don't know how to say it, apothecary, however it is you say it. But yeah, like cocaine was like a readily available drug, and the first drug law enacted was to make drugs or like cocaine illegal for slaves to have, because like white people were afraid like, well, if our slaves are hopped up on cocaine, they might find it within them to rebel against their owners, and we can't have that, so we're going to go ahead and make cocaine illegal in the hands of slaves. So that was like one of the first drug laws, and then it just kind of snowballed from there because um, it was like it became somewhat profitable, and like during the Nixon era, like he just blew it way out of proportions, and then around that era birthed the prison industrial complex, where a lot of these private prisons popped up and just started making money off of like how many prisoners they can hold in their system. And it's just been one fucking thing after another. But anyway, like yeah, well, like a lot of these laws, it's just bullshit. Like they're fabricated. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna be tough on crime, but really it's like they want to dole out as many lengthy prison sentences so they can keep these prisoners in prison for as long as they can, and as many as they can, as many as they can house, so they can so these prison companies can keep earning money off of these prisoners. And let me explain. It's like the prison industrial complex, like when it started, all these private prisons started popping up, right? And so they started housing all these prisoners. And what they wanted to do, in fact, is like convert slavery into something that was still profitable. So when slavery was abolished, they found like when slavery was abolished centuries ago, they just kind of found a different way to just like make slavery like still legalized. So they turned like prisoners into slaves, and that's where you get like the prisoner work camps of the past. But then when the prison industrial complex started popping up, like yeah, they were still using like prison labor to do this and that. But the prison industry, when they first started their experiment, they presented it to the American, like the American, well, um, the American government is like, look, you give us all these prisoners, and then we'll use them for cheap labor, and then someday, like this, like the cheap labor will like generate all this money, and someday, like prison will become self sustaining. So in the beginning, a prison was meant the prisons promised that they'd be able to make their own money and earnings off of the work of the prisoners that they had at hand. So the government was all for it. So they went ahead and set up the prison industrial complex and put it in place. But year after year, like fiscal year after fiscal year, like the prison industry just kept asking for handouts from the American government, and the American government just kept giving it to them. And after several decades, the prison industry hasn't been able to deliver on the promise that they started with initially, whereas they were supposed to become self-sustaining, and they kept asking for government handouts and assistance in order to keep their keep their prisons. But it's been going on for so long that it just became routine. And it wasn't until like 2012 the federal government just said like, "Hey, look, we've been supporting you all these decades. Like ever since the Nixon era when they uh, um, put up this prison industrial complex, and ever since then you haven't been able to become self-sustaining as you said you would. So we can't keep doing this anymore." And like since 2012, like prison funding has been getting cut here, like left and right. So around the time when I was released from prison back in like 20, no wait, yeah, 2017, 2017, 2018. It's like when I started hearing news of like prisons getting shut down. Oh wait, no, even when I was in prison, I heard about prisons getting shut down, and there were like there was like this influx of like prisoners like either moving out or like coming in because they were just shifting them around. So like there were several prisons that got shut down because like a lot of the funding just kept getting cut. And I haven't heard anything about it since then. I haven't been keeping tabs on it, but I hope they're still getting shut down because they've yet to like deliver on their promise. And that promise is that a private run prison was supposed to become self sustaining within like a matter of years when they first started popping up back in the Nixon era. But yeah, it hasn't happened yet. But it all needs to be like re-examined, especially like the whole like drug offense laws. I mean, you got a whole bunch of like people sitting in prison over non-violent like drug offenses, and I could go off for a long while on just like friggin' drug laws and just drug or just people imprisoned over like these flimsy drug laws. But I got to get back to work. Um, let's see. Melody says, "Yeah, they were serious about a war on drugs when they got bloody Pee Wee Herman to do a PSA on it in the 80s." Oh, look, kids, drugs are bad. No, I can't do a good Pee Wee. I can't do a good Pee Wee Herman. I can't even mimic his laugh. So yeah, drug laws are bullshit. A lot of laws are bullshit. We're all being lied to. And it sucks too because like fucking a lot of these governors and senators, like some of them are guilty of like the very laws that they enact. I mean, I remember I was in prison and like going through like the prison like news bulletins and stuff, and like there was this judge, this judge who was stealing cocaine from from evidence, and he got caught. Like, geez, fucking hell, man. Oh, oh, what's even worse is like the fucking judge I read about in Prison News who is tried and convicted for child pornography, and the sentencing was fucking bullshit. And okay, like this judge is like 80 years old, right? He's been working in the judicial system for years. He gets tagged for child pornography, and like there's like child pornography on his computer and whatever, and so he gets tried and convicted. But when it comes to sentencing, another fellow judge of his is like, oh well, he's so advanced in age, sending him to prison wouldn't be good for his health. So I'm giving him home confinement for a set amount of time because he's just a really old man. He's like, fucking, that's bullshit. That's just, oh god, that's, oh, what is it? It's like cronyism. What is it? It's no, it's not nepotism. It's like showing like a form of favoritism to like your fellow associate. Like I can't remember the word. There's like a phrase for it. Stupid vocabulary. I'm like, my stupid brain's vocabulary is just slipping because I don't talk about this stuff enough anymore. I've just been so caught up and just trying to stay caught up with all these demands and trying to make money. But anyway, um, yeah, like fucking that judge was just giving his like longtime like judicial partner like a free pass in a way. He's like, yeah, he had to go through the trial, and yeah, he had to convict him, but when it comes to sentencing, he just gave him a slap on the wrist. He's like, I'm not going to send him to prison because he's so advanced in age. It wouldn't be good for his health. It would be detrimental to his health. It's like, fuck that shit, man. I've been through prison and like I've seen guys who are like 80 years and older, dude. Like fucking people are like dying in prison right now, and you like give like your fellow judge who is 80 years old like a really light sentence when there's like people just as old as him in prison for the same fucking crime. Fucking bullshit, dude. I call bullshit. Like if he was anyone else, you would have thrown the book at him, put him in prison for 20 years. But simply because he was your fellow judge and you probably like shared drinks with them at the local bar around the corner in your downtown, like downtown city where like all the federal buildings are. Simply because you palled around with him, you gave him a really, really light sentence. Oh no, I'm not going to give him prison because it would be detrimental to his health because of his advanced age. Like, you fucking bullshit, man. Melly says it is cronyism. Like, no, yeah, that is like cronyism, but then there was like another word for it. Like, is like cronyism and favoritism because like these two were of like the same ilk. I can't remember the word, but I remember when I was relaying this story to like other people years ago, there was like a specific word I was using. I can't remember what it was. No, he says basically gave him a slap on the wrist. Yeah, pretty much. And it's like that whole like rules for thee, not for me. And I hate it. I mean, like fucking when a judge like violates a law and like they're 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 let off with just a slap on the wrist. And a lot of like the excuses I see, like when a policeman or a federal agent or a judge, prosecutor or attorney gets tried for a crime, a lot of the time the excuse is like, oh, they've served the community for so long, so we're going to go light on them. The reason he got such a light sentence is because he had X amount of years contributed to serving the community in his position of authority. It's like, no, fuck, bullshit, man. You caught him like red-handed, like in some of these cases, you caught him red fucking handed, and like his years of service should mean squat. I mean, he had a high seat of authority, and he should have that much more to fall. But instead, like, what do they have these people do sometimes? Oh, they have him step down. Yeah, he held this position, but because he was found out for this egregious crime, we're not going to just have him just fall from his position. We're gonna have him step down. We'll just step down from his position of authority. Like if that was anyone else, like fucking years of prison, years of probation, hefty fines. But then when it's like a freaking policeman, federal agent, someone working in government or judicial authority, like, oh yeah, we'll just have him step down. You know that's bullshit, you assholes. Melody's like saying it's not what you know, it's who you know. Yeah. Like when Gerald Ford pardoned Nixon. Oh, fuck. And it's like presently too, whereas like Biden was asked, "Well, are you going to go after Trump for his crimes, like his blatant apparent crimes?" Like, "Oh no, we're going to look forward." It's like, "Oh, you fucking bitch." You fucking bitch, jackass, douche, limp dick motherfucker. By not going after Trump for all of his egregious crimes and his blatant ripoff of like of so many Americans, and not going after him is like you're just paving the way for more corruption of the same nature. Like, no, we're not going to go after him. We want to look forward. We just want to look forward. Never mind everything he did in the past. Guilty though he may be, we just want to look forward and move on. Get the fuck out of town, Jack. Fucking shit. Though I'm glad we don't have Trump in office anymore. But with Biden in there, I was hoping he'd get rid of those stupid tariffs. But he hasn't done so yet, as far as I know. There's like a few weeks ago, like I looked into it. Like I've been hoping to hear news about it, but then like several weeks ago, I looked into it and it's like still not. Like he hasn't lifted those tariffs. And just looking at the state of things, like man, things are just so fucking expensive, and it's because those tariffs are still in place. Because again, like since we since there are a whole lot of tariffs on China, um, manufacturers can't get the cheap raw supplies and imports we were getting from China. So now we have to go elsewhere where it's more expensive, and that feeds into the manufacturing costs, which in turn affect the final cost of products when they're on the shelves. And it just keeps going. And recently, like I had like an epiphany. Now, I know it's just speculation on my part, but it's like why doesn't Biden just get rid of those tariffs so we can go back to getting cheap um, raw goods for the things that are manufactured over here? It's like the reason I think that is so I'm of the belief that Biden is a corporate Democrat and he like makes decisions based on his corporate buddies and partners. So I think the instance here is that his corporate partners and buddies don't want Biden to lift the tariffs because with the tariffs in place, yeah, that's going to inflate costs. But now these corporations can further like manufacture. Hey, get out of the trash! Get no, shoot. So these companies and industries want to keep the tariffs in place because yeah, like it's inflating costs, but now they can artificially raise prices and then blame it on the tariffs. Like, oh yeah, like the prices are getting out of control, but we can't help it because the tariffs are making these products so expensive. We're sorry, but there's nothing we can do. But behind closed doors, they're kind of like, yeah, there is some inflation because of the tariffs, but they're artificially raising the prices a little bit, just gouging us and blaming it on the tariffs. So like fucking get rid of the tariffs, but no, they don't want to get rid of them because they can use that as a scapegoat. Anyway, that's my speculation, but it makes a lot of sense because politics is corrupt because there's just so much money in politics. And if Biden is the corporate Democrat I think he is, he's getting kickbacks from his corporate buddies who want him to keep these tariffs in place in order to make things more expensive and just continue making money off of off of us because the hell can we do about it? Uh, Nobody says despite Watergate, or yeah, like when Gerald Ford pardoned Nixon despite Watergate. Yeah, fucking bullshit. And it says it's a chumocracy. Yeah, yeah. All these politicians, though they promise the people like all this all this good stuff. Oh, excuse me. Even though they promise the Americans all this good stuff, they're still of the same ilk. Just fucking corrupt, money hungry douchebags. And yeah, what Biden was selling sounded pretty good, but he's been unable to like really fully deliver on a lot of these promises. So consolation prize is just that fucking orange dumbass isn't in power anymore. Ugh. I just wish we had someone with the balls and fortitude to actually deliver on their promises, like I do. I promise to change the laws, root out corruption, and have all these corrupt parties tried and executed for their offenses against the American people, the Constitution, and this country. But again, like, just want to clarify that I just want to execute all the corrupt policing authorities and government officials, be them like federal agents or elected officials, judges, uh, Congress people, all that stuff. Average citizens, like like if there be a death penalty, just save it for the most egregious of like serial killers, murderers, such as that. But as far as like when I talk about executing corrupt people, I'm just talking about people who work in branches of government who have like ulterior motives to make money off of the sick, the dying, and the poor. Yeah. Fuck those corrupt officials. Fuck them straight to the guillotine. Oh, hey, Iso. Iso says, hey, what's up, Iso? I'm just on another one of my rants because it makes me feel better to just rant about shit. It eases the stress, it eases the tension to just share my mind with the people. Share my thoughts, ideas, and ideals to some sort of audience who's like willing to listen. Okay, these panels are more or less done. You know what, I'm gonna copy this one. Whoops, kind of missed the mark here. There we go. Whoop, copy, paste. Let's go ahead and cool. Isn't that neat? I think it's neat. Issa says, makes sense. Isn't that basically what therapy is? Yes. This is cheaper than therapy. Yes. And it's more helpful than therapy because, like, in actual therapy and in some of the treatments that I've been in, it's like expressing my thoughts this way and just like what I actually think about. Like, that would cause. It would cause concern and probably, like, in their reasoning, just like sign me up for they would sign me up for more treatment. They would just give me more treatment because of the way I think and like my thoughts, ideas, and ideals. They would just pile on the treatment, and that's nothing I want because treatment sucks. It makes me depressed, and the last thing I want is more treatment because I don't want more depression. So this is better than therapy. This is better than treatment. It actually makes me feel at ease. It's cathartic. Just being able to talk to like like-minded people who tell me like, no, Johnson, you're not crazy. Like what you're saying makes a lot of sense. I think you should go for it. You should go ahead and run for president, change all these laws, and then yeah, execute those fuckers. Of course, no one's actually said that to me, but a lot of the other stuff that I talk about, like I've had some people like they tell me like, yeah, that does make sense. That makes a lot of sense. Weirdly, that makes a lot of sense. I get you. I understand you. See that's all I need sometimes is just like a little understanding. What I don't need is just like me conveying my thoughts and for like a practitioner in psychological science just like telling me like, oh well, your manner of thinking is wrong. That's a thinking error. because you shouldn't think the way you do. You should think like this other way. And what you can do to help that is by doing such and such exercise, like mental exercise, or doing this or doing that, just so you don't think that way anymore. And uh, it's just a system propagated to like mandate thought without making it like a whole legal issue in a way. It's like, oh, we're just doing it to help you. It's like, no, you're doing it so you can like legally try to alter the way I think, but in in the rule of law, like you can't dictate or mandate thought. But this is just their workaround, just trying to get around that. Oh God, I hate it. Ah. Melody says probably wise not to get advice from me on the subject. Oh, it's okay, Fluff. I know your vicious and violent thoughts. We are both very vindictive people. And that's why we work so well together. Okay, this panel is pretty much done. Or this page. Oh, wait, I haven't been saving the pages. Oh, I haven't been doing the backgrounds yet. Okay, I'll just save that for now. Oh, this is when the mouth is closing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and feed the dogs and the horses because my brother didn't do that today, even though they're his animals. Well, I guess I'll do it. It's not like I got better things to do, like community service. Hey, I should be grateful. It's getting me away from some of this community service that I'm not getting paid for, mind you. Uh, I'm not being critical of the people here. I'm not being critical of lurkers. I'm just being critical of all the people who promised that they would donate money if there was a donation site, and I presented it, and there's been no donations from those people. And I'm keeping up with the process of making these videos and uploading them to show people that I'm still working through it and I'm still working on it and hoping to garner some donations from the people who promised them. Still fucking nothing. So that's who I'm being critical about. Don't give me false hope. If you can't do it, don't say you will. Just shut the fuck up. Enjoy the show. Oh, those jackasses. BRB. Feeding the dogs and horses. Melody says, I think I'm the only donator so far. Yeah, you're the only one who's donated to this project. I've received other payments, but those have all been for either commissions or doodles. But as far as this project goes, Melody's the only one that's been donated, that has donated. Okay. Let me get some actual shoes on. I got my fuzzy house shoes. Okay. Let's go feed some aminals. Oh, BRB. I'm back. It took a little while because my mom needed help with something on. Oh shit, the stream's dead. And or it's back on. As I was saying, for the stream's sake, sorry it took a while. My mom needed help with something. And what the frick are the dogs barking? Oh, looks like the stream keeps dying. Is it dead now? Well, looks like it's stuck. Restarting. Let me see if stopping and restarting the stream will help. Looks like it might work. Melody says 30 minutes left. Looks like it's not going to work. Oh. Oh, I spoke too soon. There it goes. Nope, it just straight up died again. I'm going to have to stop both.